Support for Radio Friends comes from La Brunerie Financial, where they work to ensure a lifetime of financial security for people from all walks of life, from investment services to retirement plans. If you're looking for a trustworthy company that has the experience and knowledge to put your interests first, contact La Brunerie Financial, a community-based investment counseling firm since 1966. Good morning. Welcome to Radio Friends on this Tuesday, September the 15th. This morning we're going to talk about refugees and immigration services, specifically the Catholic Charities, Refugees and Immigration Services. And I want to introduce you to GRACE WILDENHAUS. Good to have you here, Grace.
Thank you so much for having me.
Tell me about this organization and what you're doing.
Yeah, so at Catholic Charities, we are the Refugee Resettlement Agency of Mid-Missouri. So we're working with every new refugee who comes to the United States in our region. In addition to our refugee resettlement program, then we also offer immigration services. And our immigration services are generally offered at less than 10% of the cost of a private attorney, and those services are available to the public. So we most commonly do green card application, citizenship, and petition for people's family members abroad to reunite with them in the United States.
How many people are you working with on a daily basis?
On a daily basis, around 20 to 30. We do work with a lot of large families as well. So it kind of depends. In the last 5 years, so from 2014 to 2019, we resettled 786 refugees.
Here in central Missouri?
Here in central Missouri, yes. And the far majority of our resettlement is right here in Columbia, and then our other resettlement location is in Sedalia.
And that got to feel good when you're helping these people.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible to be able to work with and meet people from all over the world right here in our community.
Yeah, and their hope and dream is to come to the United States and find a better life.
Yes, refugees specifically are fleeing persecution, so that's a really big difference than other migrant populations.
Right.
Yeah.
If people want to help out with this, what can they do?
Yeah, there are a lot of ways to help. Staying in touch with our agency and keeping up with what's going on with local refugee resettlement and just learning more about what refugee resettlement looks like. We really utilize the support of volunteers. So if they're interested in working more closely with us and our clients, they can volunteer. Right now we're really looking for family mentors and people who can assist kind of like an on-call basis.
Sure.
With appointments, and then financial contributions also go a long way.
And they can do all of this. They can get the information and make contributions if they want on your website.
Yes.
And that website address is cccnmo.dio. That's for Diocese of Jefferson City.org.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Grace, thank you so much for coming by, and continued success with what you're doing.
Yes, thank you so much.
All right. Now we're going to talk about something that affects men that we don't think about a lot. I want to introduce you to DAYNA GLANZ, who's with us from OsteoStrong. Good to have you here.
Hey, thank you.
And that is osteoporosis in men.
Right.
Right. Now, OsteoStrong seems to be aimed at preventing osteoporosis in women, and you've got a lot of women who come in.
Right.
But should men also be concerned about it and be interested in trying to prevent osteoporosis?
Well, osteoporosis in men is what we call a silent disease. Most of them do not realize they have it until they fracture. And some of the facts as far as men and osteoporosis is that 1 in 4 men over the age of 50 will fracture a bone due to osteoporosis. And approximately 2 million annually fracture a hip. There's men older than 50 are more likely to have osteoporosis than to get prostate cancer.
Is that right?
Yeah. And each year about 80,000 men will fracture a hip. men are more likely to die from a fractured hip than women. And the reason for that is that their fractures usually start after around the age of 70. And so they're older, and so their morbidity, mortality rate is higher.
You're not painting a very nice picture at all.
I know.
So what basically puts men at risk of osteoporosis?
So basically, a lot of the same things that are for women, but it's basically family history, if they're a smoker, if they drink a lot of alcohol, that can impact their bone.
Okay, stop. What do you mean by a lot of alcohol? You're not talking about 1 or 2 glasses of wine.
No.
You're talking about major consumption of alcohol.
Right, exactly. And also not exercising can do it. We do know that men, when they're younger, are more involved in sports and physical kinds of things, and so they come in with a stronger bone density than women on average. So I think that's part of why it doesn't impact them until later in life that they lose it. They start losing it at the same rate at age 50 as women do. There's also evidence that a low testosterone level may impact them getting osteoporosis, and that low estrogen levels in men can predispose them to osteoporosis, as well as chronic diseases like in the lungs or the gastrointestinal tract or kidneys, and also autoimmune diseases. An example of that would be something like rheumatoid arthritis.
So you're saying that if you have arthritis, there is a chance that you could be developing osteoporosis?
You have a higher risk for it.
So what can men do to find out if they have it or not?
Well, basically, I would recommend that they talk to their primary care provider. If they notice that they have some of these risk factors, book an appointment. Go in and get it checked out. And they can do lab work. They can decide if you're at risk for it.
For osteoporosis?
Yes.
Okay. But the thing is, if the man recognizes he has it, there's something that you can do by building up your bone structure, right?
Right. And we know that healthy habits equals healthy bones.
Right.
And so if they're, doing things that we suggested as risk factors, but we know that there's a non-pharmacological treatment for bone density, and that's OsteoStrong, which helps build bones, muscles, balance, and posture.
Go to their webpage. Go to the webpage, Facebook page. Google OsteoStrong Columbia or OsteoStrong Carpet Lake, and you'll have all the information you need. Or you can give them a call. What's your number?
573-554-5881.
Okay, and you get a free trial too, don't you?
Yeah, we got a special going right now.
All right. Dana, thank you so much for coming by. Continued
always
success.
A pleasure.
Okay, pepperpeakmissouri.edu. I'd love to hear from you. Bye-bye.